Welcome back. Just doing a little bit of a close off for the end of 2023 and a little bit of an update on all of those areas that have seemingly come to a stop. They are due to parts issues, or I can't proceed with something that precedes that because of those parts issues, if that makes sense. So just starting off with the instrument panel, I have committed to putting the IFS displays and finally setting up the two carbon fibre temporary pieces of plastic either side. These won't be in carbon fibre at the end of the day. I'll go through that in a second. I may or may not have mentioned it. They will be in a matte finish of Perspex, and we'll just touch on that in a second. So look, just starting from left to right, I've taken the advice, and I'll just use my little pointer here. I've taken the advice and moved away from where I had the trim wheel. That's the great sound advice from both Gavin and Dan, and more than happy with what they said. I encouraged the comments on the community channel, and I got it, so I was happy with that. So just very quickly, I've kept all my toggle switches all along the bottom of either side, nice and handy. These ones here are going to be a little bit hard to do, only due to the fact that right hand is on the control stick, but I'm sure there's a will, there's a way. So I won't go into the ins and outs of what they all are at the moment. Suffice to say that I can't proceed with any of the finalizing of these two pieces of Perspex until I get a toggle guard, which is a little U-shaped protective sort of a thing for the actual toggle itself, so it can't inadvertently be bumped on or off. And that's it. They're lost in transit somewhere. They should have been here on the 5th of December. They're somewhere. So I hope to get those just in the new year. With the Perspex, I found a place in Melbourne, which is in another state below New South Wales, and they have given me the okay that if I send them a vector file or some sort of a JPEG thing or a CAD file, they can, with dimensions on it, they'll be able to laser cut these to my given hole sizes and also laser print on the wordings. So, you know, whatever it's going to be. You know, mag 1, mag 2, whatever. And that is all works in progress. So I'm happy with that at the moment. You may see some cardboard little pieces on here, and I'm just toying with the idea of doing a few little things with those, namely to even them up either side, because if you look at the Sonex B kits, there's two aluminium angles that hold this instrument panel in spot, and they're uneven in size or shape due to the fact that on this side, there's the mixture control, and your throttle is over there as well with the AeroV conversions part of the kit. So I'm just toying with the idea about making these up in some sort of a Perspex or some sort of a aluminium that's been sprayed black or whatever, and inside either side of this I will have some eyeball vents coming through from the intakes either side of the just after the cowl. Where I position those at the moment, I have yet to decide that. There's a gentleman who I'm going to give some homage to, is Peter Anson Engineering. He has some wonderful parts, some retrofitted parts for these kits, and one of those I'll be talking about today, and I'm going to put a link below if I can work out how to do it. But just working my way across, all of this is going to be removable. These are going to be screwed in, screwed out with some MS screws. These I am yet to work out whether they are temporarily permanent, and what I mean by that is these will have some face fixed screws in these locations, but I either put a screw into these corners or I don't. I rely on these to hold back against the aluminium. I don't know yet. I'll work that out. Either way, I'll work it out. Just moving on to the forward part of the windscreen. All of this has been upsized, coppers, everything around and through the windscreen. Around this actual bow strap, there's two different sizes of upsizing. Now, if I understand the drawings correctly, which I hope I have because I've done it, is that the actual bow itself is a 632 tap, which is a bit smaller than the upsizing of the holes through the actual skirt, the windshield, and the actual windshield bow strap, which has to be done in a 9/64, which is just a little bit larger than your copper clecos. The copper cleco will still hold through that, not through the bow strap because it's a 632 tap. So when I upsized that prior to the bow strap, I took the bow strap off, upsized all the way through. I think it's got something to do with when your screw goes through, you're not putting pressure on the Lexan. Who knows? But I just followed what it said on the drawing and it seems to have worked. This I'll talk about in a second. Now let's move on to the fuel tank. Okay, just onto the fuel tank now. I've been collecting what I've worked out off this drawing here. There's no real list to tell you what to get, but I've just sort of looked at different parts online and come up with what I think is the required parts for it. So just working from the UPS fitting in the tank, it'll have a strainer on it, which basically screws into there. This next fitting screws into there, so I'll just take that out for a second. That goes into there like that. We then go through our gold fuel flow, which then runs through to there. From the outside of the fuel flow, it will run through that way, which runs through a tap. So if you see on here, you'll see the tap, and bends a little bit of a aluminium fuel line, and then out through the firewall. So I have yet to assemble all this, but I do now have all those parts. It's taken me quite some time to get them from varying places around the globe, namely Aircraft Spruce and Wicks, and I have them all. So I will get on to doing this fuel tank shortly. Well, not today, but in the next couple of weeks. Now, just on the fuel tank, I've got the actual that way around. No, that way around. So coming from the fuel sensor, or the fuel flow sensor, it's clearly you can see this from the cockpit that it's in the off position, and even if it were bumped, it can't be bumped sort of off when this tap is in line. Obviously the fuel is going to flow. It can't be bumped. It can't be bumped off. It can't be, the only way you're going to turn off is pull it back. So as part of my checks within the aeroplane prior to startup, I'll have a little bit of a taggy thing hanging off that, which will say, remove before flight, and similar to a pitot tube, whatever. And that's basically it. So just moving on to the actual fuel level sensor, I'll just turn this tank around and we'll have a quick look. Okay, I have installed the vent line already too, which is part of the Sonex recommended location for it, and I'll run that the vent line in the given location on the drawings, which is basically along the back of the firewall or forward part of the glare shield and down into the gear legs, I believe. So anyway, this fuel level sensor will go somewhere on or around about there. I've decided to cut that much of it out. The reason being is that way I can sort of get some screws or a nut and bolt type situation through these holes from the underside. How I hold them there temporarily prior to pushing this down and then mechanically fixing that off is something I am yet to work out, but I think that's about the only way I can see fit to do it. Now, this will have a hole cut through the top of the actual glare shield, so I have to accept that. how you go through here and replace this part if it ever fails. If that's going to be the case, it's going to be damn hard to get out of that location, but that's a bridge I'll have to cross if it ever happens. Okay, I think that's about it. I'd look just prior to that, I had a bit of a look at Gavin's website from Gavin Sonex B to see how he installed his, and he didn't go into the whys and hows in the video, so I'll probably, this is a bit sort of complexy, so I might try to film that process, and hopefully it might give some ideas to somebody else when they go to do it. Anyway, we'll move on now to the handle of the canopy from Peter Anson Engineering. Okay, moving toward the canopy part of the build. I won't be installing the entire canopy at the moment. I'm including the bows. I'm just going to be doing both left and right angles and hinges and the like, just to get that in spot, so I can disassemble all part of that as part of the actual square hollow, disassemble it out of the square hollow section, so I can deburr it and paint it in its black, matte black color. That's going to be a finished product that has to be done prior to all of the tank going in, prior to the windscreen going in, prior to the glare shield going in, and all that. So all of that sort of stuff needs to be deburred, hence me sort of upsizing all of the canopy at the moment, and now this is the last section of the actual square hollow section to be done. We'll go through that in a second in the aeroplane, but moreover I want to talk about this guy in Australia called Peter Anson, Anson Engineering. I'm going to put a link in the description below, and he has these wonderful retrofitted parts that go into this part of the build for Sonex. I think that's where the knob goes, and it slides forward, and it just sort of clips into the square hollow section, or goes into the square hollow section with an alignment pin or something along those lines. This just takes care of all that. It just pulls out, the handle goes over, and that allows the whole lot to be unlocked, if that makes sense. So I'm going to just put a link in the description. Here's the components here. They look absolutely beautifully engineered, and I'm actually quite looking forward to putting that into the airplane. I think it'll sort of step it up to the next level. Anyway, let's get busy away, and we'll see how we go with this part of the build. Okay, just going to go through to the aeroplane now and drill these two pivots. Just put some silver clecos through these two pivot locations, which will be upsized through to I think they're about 732s or something along those lines, a quarter by 28 threads. So I'll just fit those in position at the moment, and that allows me then to put these two through from the underside. That allows that to slide backwards and forwards. But just prior to drilling that, I'm just going to show you how I position that first angle by using this left-hand rail latch assembly cover plate. Anyway, we'll go back to the aeroplane and have a quick look. Okay, just back on here now. This little strap or cover plate basically aligns with that inside here. You'll see that. And that gives me around about 1.5 either side of the actual canopy. Is the only way I can see that gives us our starting point, which allows us to then drill those pivots that go through here, and that's the actual sliding through that way. Anyway, let's get started and make some noise. Okay, so far I've put the hook in the fully forward position to give me the position for this plate, and now I've got to use a little guide. So I've locked this in, so basically the slide of the locking mechanism for the canopy comes hard against this plate. I've clamped it in spot. This is a drill guide they supply in the kit with a 3/16 drill through that. So hopefully with a bit of luck I'll go through this. Okay, step 4 is to drill out to a 16mm hole using a step drill, so away we go. Okay, the next stage is I've put the drill guide back through that hole now, clamped this reinforcing plate back in spot. The two outer holes are going to be 1/8, the two inner holes are going to be 4mm, so I'll just drill the 1/8 to start with. Okay, I can rivet this in spot now. Okay, I have completed all this Anson Engineering retrofitted handle in the Sonex. I'm extremely happy with it. Nothing changes in respect to all these components. This is all as per the original Sonex design. There's a MS screw that comes through here. I don't know if you can see that, but it comes an MS screw. Countersunk screw will be from the outside through the square hollow section and come out long enough that it'll slide similar to what these slide here. So once it goes through here, the nut and bolt type situation can't allow the canopy to go up. It's locked in spot. This one obviously is, I think, is for the taxiing position, so it gives you just a bit of an airflow. A little bit hard to do in and around here, but got there in the end. I'm extremely happy with it. So if you're on the outside, there's a little push button on the outside which releases it. There's a lock. I can't move that now, and that just releases it. There's a ball bearing inside there that locks in spot pretty damn tight. So to get in from the outside is that. To get out from the inside is pulling that. So let's assume we're on the inside, and we just simply pull that up like that. So that just slides back past these, allowing the canopy to go up. I think it's just sort of finishes off the old Sonex just that little bit better. Okay, finished product from Anson Engineering. As I said, check out his link below. I think you'll be more than happy with all the products that he's got available on his website for the Sonex B as well as the Legacy model. What more can I say? It's beautifully engineered. I'm very, very happy with it. I did initially choose the red color. That was to match the red color of the Sonex that I was going to do, but I've since changed my mind. I feel like I've got to add a few more colours into it, and I have chosen a different a colour range for this aeroplane. I'm still working on a bit of a rough sketch for that, and I'll go through that at a later stage. I've still got plenty of time before the aeroplane's ready to be painted, although I have to take into consideration those new colours chosen for in and around the glare shield and that, and the canopy bows and the like and that sort of stuff. So that's it. I'll close this video off now, and we'll go and edit it, and I will see you all in 2024 for my second year of the build.